Good morning and welcome to the news at 7. I am David Okwasile. Oka Isiago neighboring road street lights switched on. As Nigerians go out to the polls tomorrow, INEC continues parleys to ensure peaceful elections. Report says number of extremely poor Nigerians rises to 91 million. Pope appoints Irish American Cardinal New Camelengo. Governor Willie Beno says the present administration will sustain the Light Up Anambra project. Speaking at Nibo during the light switching ceremony for Oka Isiago neighboring road, Governor Obiano said that state government has lit up streets of more than 120 communities in the state. Government House correspondent Ejika Bana reports that the governor was accompanied by his wife, Dr. Belechku Obiano.
That the state government is working to light up the 179 communities of the state, noted that a lot of interventions and infrastructural projects have been executed in Oka Capital Territory, including the recent award of ongoing internal roads in the area. He emphasized that he will use the remaining years of his administration to execute more innovative projects.
We've been doing quite some work in Oka Capital Territory, which Nibo is part of. A lot of time to be able to develop this area. By the time
the Commissioner for Public Utilities, Mr. Obi Wankwo, reiterated the commitment of state government to the project, which he said has positively affected the lives of the state citizenry. The National Chairman of the All Progressives Grand Alliance, ABGA, Chief Victor Oye, recalled that the road was cut into two halves but was given palliative, courtesy of the governor, assuring of the people's unflinching and unwavering support. Others who spoke, including Chief Anayon Nebe, the Deputy Speaker of the State House of Assembly, Barrister Harford Oseke, and the member representing Oka South 1 in the State House of Assembly, Mr. Nnamdi Okafor, said that the road used to be lonely and deadly, especially at night due to darkness, appreciating the governor for thinking it wise to light up the state, as it is one of the steps at stamping out crime in the state. The traditional ruler of Nibo, Eze Michael Ngene, who was full of gratitude to the governor, performed the switch-on.
This project comes directly under him with the full support of His Excellency. Nibo community is very proud of you. We are very grateful. We are very thankful. You are the light.
Recall that in order to sustain the security gains of his administration, Governor Obiano inaugurated the Light Up Anambra project, which has succeeded in giving light to streets of Anambra, thereby promoting nightlife activities in the state. From Nibo in Oka South Council area, Ejike Abana, ABS News.
The State Chief Judge, Justice Peter Umadi, has charged judicial workers to uphold honesty and dedication in discharge of their duties. The State Chief Judge, Justice Peter Umadi, was speaking while swearing in two presidents of customary courts alongside state members. During the event which took place at the State Judicial Headquarters in Oka, Justice Umadi urged them to be diligent and honest in the discharge of their duties as they work directly with the people at the grassroots, even as he called on the presidents to shun unnecessary delays in cases brought before them so as to give Anambra and residents of the state justice at all times. Chibuzo Okoye has details.
The Chief Judge further told the newly sworn-in presidents and members of the customary courts to work in synergy to achieve the aims and objectives of the court and appealed to them to manage the structures they may find in their various courts. Responding, one of the newly sworn-in presidents of the customary courts, Ikekwibe Chiemeria Dokas, assured that they will deliver on the mandate given to them and thanked the Chief Judge for finding them worthy to serve.
We want to use this platform to state readiness to promoting the cause of justice to all.
Meanwhile, legal practitioners have been charged to maintain their dignity as the last hope of the common man. The state chief judge, Justice Peter Umade, gave the charge at Neni while laying the foundation stone of a High Court of Justice for Anambra Judicial Division. Justice Umade, who stressed the need for legal practitioners to always be honest in the discharge of their duties, said that the essence of citing a High Court of Justice at Neni is to give the people more access to justice. The chief judge, who expressed optimism that the High Court complex will be completed in a record time, said that it will benefit the people of Anambra, Njikok and Dunukofia local government areas. In an address, the President General of Neni Town Union, Chief Chuhu Mambono, who spoke through the Vice President of the Town Union, Chief John Uzezie, thanked the State Judiciary for citing the High Court at Neni, assuring that the project will be completed in a record time.
I say welcome, sir, to the official commissioning of the Anambra Judicial Division holding at Neni. Thank you, sir. May God bless you. I'm assuring you that in the next 8 months, if you come here, you will not know where the block and the sand is. We will finish it.
In Oka, it's been Chibuzo Okoye for ABS News.
The state government has declared today work-free day, according to a statement signed by the head of service, Barrister Harry Odo. Governor Willie Obiano approved the day to enable public servants to travel to their respective communities to cast their votes tomorrow, Saturday, 16 February 2019. They were therefore urged to perform their civic duty of voting and voting wisely during the elections. The state government has called on the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, to endeavor to conduct a free, fair and credible elections in the state as done in the previous voting exercises. Governor Willie Obiano made the call during the 2019 general elections stakeholders forum organized by the INEC at Professor Dora Akonye Women Development Center, Oka. Correspondent Emmanuel Okonkwo was there and is taken from here.
The event, which was an interactive section, attracted members of the civil society organization, women groups, political parties, security chiefs, as well as international observers from the United States of America, and provided the participants the opportunity to rub minds with officials of the INEC on how to ensure acceptable voting process in the state. Governor Obiano, represented by his deputy, Dr. Okeke, commended the INEC on arrangements already put in place towards ensuring free, fair, and credible elections in the state. The governor solicited for adequate assistance of the security agencies during the elections to ensure the people's safety and freedom to vote for candidates of their choice.
The observers will be in the right places and observe what's happening, not writing their reports of the comfort of their hotel rooms, areas that will have safe and peaceful process. We don't want to get loss of life, no accidents, no injuries. And this process will be concluded, and the results will come out maybe Sunday.
Earlier, the State Resident Electoral Commissioner, Dr. Nkwachukwu Oji, revealed that the Commission has concluded arrangements on how to ensure transparency and credibility of the elections, urging in the Anambra to make use of their permanent voters' cards tomorrow and March 2nd elections, as their votes will count.
We have made minor amendments with our regulations and guidelines to ensure that the process is safe, is peaceful, is transparent, is credible. So we urge you all to join us in this exercise.
Speaking on the neutrality and preparedness of the security agencies for a successful outcome of the elections, the State Commissioner of Police, Mr. Mustafa Dandaura, reiterated that the officers of the police force would ensure conducive environment where the people can freely exercise their franchise. Mr. Mustafa used the opportunity to warn political office seekers against moving around with talks on the election days, making it clear that the days are not for campaign, but a day the citizenry determine who rules them through voting.
Vulnerable points, flash points have been adequately covered. I'm using this medium to warn all political office seekers that in no account should they be seen moving with thoughts during the election day. As
the Saturday Presidential and National Assembly polls Closes up in minutes. The State Directorate of the National Orientation Agency has intensified their voter education drive. This time, they visited Ekulobia Central Park to sensitize members on the dangers of violence, vote buying, and ways to avoid invalid votes. The report is here. That is the State Director, National Orientation Agency, Barrister Charles Nwoji, educating the members of the park on how to fold the ballot papers to avoid smudging and ensure the integrity and secrecy of the ballot papers. Speaking, Barrister Nwoji underlined the effects of the dangerous trend of vote buying, selling, and all forms of violence to good and accountable governance. On Tuesday's fire incidents at the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC State Headquarters in Awka, the NUA boss reassured that INEC will deliver a credible poll tomorrow and on March 2.
We are, will I say, at the peak now, visiting informal places now. We had to come and see the people in their places of business. That is the motor park. The traders participated in this elimination of invalid and void votes, 1. 2, reduction of the incidence of violence during elections, and then thirdly, vote buying and selling. These 3 issues have been a source of worry to Nigerians.
Earlier, the chairman of the Ekulobia Central Park, Mr. Anthony Okonkwo, while welcoming the sensitization team, assured that the desired result will be achieved.
Personally, I make a kind of promise to you people that the outcome of this program I have to put in practice. 1, whatever anywhere I said that the most part now this I got to put it into practice.
At the event, representatives of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Mr. Emeka Ikenwude, and for the Department of State Security, Mr. Lloyd Ohalete, took turns to assure on security arrangements that will engender violence-free elections. During the questions and answer session, members of the park, Mr. Nnamdi Ikwunne and Chief Moses Okafor, raised concerns over the lateness of INEC officials to polling booths, saying that if the issues are addressed, people's trust on the system will be restored. From Ekulobia, Agwata local government area, this is David Okwase reporting for ABS News. Still on preparations for the elections, in line with the desire to elect quality representatives at the polls, the Adaziani Development Advocates ADA has organized a campaign against vote buying. The work, which started at Amuhu Adazi and went through Community High School down to Eko Adazi and terminated at Dojako Memorial Grammar School, Adaziani. Correspondent Chibuzo Bidike has a detailed report.
The group sensitized community youths, women groups, community leaders on the dangers of vote buying and selling. The campaigners who carry placards with various inscriptions like "Your vote is your right," "No vote buying," "No to political thuggery," "No to negligence of the voice of the masses," among others, expressed displeasure over the trend of vote buying, which, according to them, will leave the masses with sufferings for another 4 years of political dispensation. The organizer of the program, Mr. Austin Okoye, revealed that the aim is to pass a message across to politicians that gone are the era sharing bags of rice and tokens in exchange for 4 years of quality representation, which has crippled development in the area.
We understand that there is need for our educational system here in Adaziani to be looked into. That's why we decided to help catalyze the education by organizing a group of people that are both indigenous and not indigenous of Adaziani, especially those with the voter's card. We want to use the opportunity also to tell the political aspirants our intention of coming out in mass to vote for any political party
In their various remarks at the different areas of the community, the principal of Community High School, Adaziani, Lady Edith Mojeke, the chairperson of Eke Market, Adaziani, Mrs. Alice Mojeku, and the principal of Ojaka Memorial Grammar School, Adaziani, Mrs. Joy Izuka, represented by acting vice principal administration, Mrs. Rose Mbano, recounted the various promises made by politicians in the past, which currently have left their various institutions and markets in very deplorable conditions.
Water tank, Lona, fees, inspection of this school. And when periodic borehole, Ebuna school. Renovation of all members the building. About the other side, never a capabi. Wind here, I get Tatashalia. My door, I get Tatashalia. So I'm making it. Unonine. Dina to Patalala. Where's the Kahat? Mayor, no possible Katata. A problem is many. One of the problems is fence. We need fence in this school. Students come into the school anytime as they like because there is no fence. Our ICT lab, we need equipment. Please, we are begging you to help us so that this school will look like other schools.
Some stakeholders in the community, including Dr. Emeka Okeke, Dr. Dubem Onyejiaka, and the President General of Adaziani, Engineer John Eyisi, all expressed delight with the initiative by the youth for a practical solution, saying that the move will entrench sustainable development.
I'm really proud to be a citizen of Adaziani and to be a youth, and to be around in an age where young people can come together and say enough is enough. You know, they have seen 2,000 naira, they have seen bags of rice, but they've come to realize it doesn't last 4 years, it doesn't last a lifetime. And they are demanding, give us good health facilities, give us good educational systems, and we will fend for ourselves. So I'm really proud for what it is that's going on, and I'm happy to be part of it.
Because all onye gụrụ akwụkwọ gụọ akwụkwọ ọfụma onye afọ ama bụ ihe onye ndị politishan ga na-ezi ego ha wee gụmụfa wee olu gbasara ịtụnye aka na politiks. Ọ bụrụ na ndị ada tinye uchu gbasara ịgụ akwụkwọ were ma praịmarị were ma sekọndịrị otu ọgwa ka anyị chọọ ọ na gbado anya n'ịgụ akwụkwọ bikodo ọ ga-enye aka imepe obodo Adaziani na mgbe ndị ọzọ dị.
From Adaziani, Chibuzo Obidike, ABS News.
The number of extremely poor Nigerians has risen to 91.6 million, according to the World Poverty Clock. This implies that virtually half of Nigeria's population now live in extreme poverty. The World Poverty Clock has named Nigeria the poverty capital of the world last June, when it revealed that Nigeria had 87 million people living in poverty. The latest figure shows that an additional 4 million Nigerians have since fallen on the poverty line. The report adds that 6 Nigerians become poor every minute. The World Poverty Clock is a tool to monitor progress according to poverty globally. Pope Francis has named the Irish-American Cardinal Kelvin Farrell as the new Camerlengo, the prelate who runs the Vatican between the death or resignation of the pontiff and the election of a new one. Farrell, aged 71, who was born in Ireland and is the highest-ranking American in the Vatican, succeeds the French Cardinal Jean-Louis Tauran, who died in July. The Camerlengo, or Chamberlain, runs the ordinary affairs of the Vatican city-state during the period known as the sede vacante, or empty seat. While the position is steeped in tradition and rituals, he cannot make any major decisions and cannot change church teachings. In the case of a papal death, the Camerlengo is the person who officially confirms it, traditionally by tapping the pontiff's head 3 times with a silver hammer and calling out his name. He then seals the papal residence and office. And on sports this morning, Sepp Blatter has been summoned to explain how Germany was awarded the 26th World Cup as prosecutors in Switzerland investigate suspected corruption in the bidding process, the disgraced former FIFA Supremo has revealed. Swiss authorities are targeting Franz Beckenbauer, former captain and coach of the German World Cup winning side, who was president of the German 2006 bid, with a suspect 7.7 million euros payment at the heart of the investigation. Currently serving a 6-year ban from football-related activity, Blatter will meet the Bennett prosecutor who has been working on the case for 2 years on March 28. The scandal first came to light in October 2015 when news magazine Der Spiegel accused Germany of having used a secret slush fund to buy votes in support of its bid to host the 26th World Cup. The fund reportedly held 10 million Swiss francs or 6.7 million euros according to exchange rate at the time. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by logging on to our website www.absradiotv.com. You can like us at Facebook at www.facebook.com/ABSRadioTelevision. You can also follow us on Twitter and Instagram at ABS Radio TV. Now the main points again before we go. Awka Isiago Nibo Ring Road street light has been switched on. As Nigerians go out to the polls tomorrow, INEC has continued parleys to ensure peaceful elections. Reporters said number of extremely poor Nigerians have risen to 91 million. Pope has appointed Irish-American Cardinal New Camelengo. That's the story this morning. I am David Okwasela, and on behalf of the team here, thank you for joining us this morning as Good Morning Anambra continues right after now.